where they will be moving in a few years. The perpetual flame there for Al Davis. Dome Stadium, seating about 75,000. Supposed to be about $1.9 billion to complete, but they have to play in Oakland for a couple of years. And of course, the signing of Marshawn Lynch certainly helped bridge that potential. There's the bar and the things that are going on in Vegas as they wait for the pick. Here is the pick with the commissioner.
With the 24th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select Gareon Conley, defensive back, Ohio State.
Well, there it is. Gareon Conley, the Ohio State cornerback, is going to the Oakland Raiders. Obviously, a lot of things have changed about Gareon Conley over the last few days. He was going to be here in Philadelphia as part of the celebration of the draft, but he was accused of raping a woman in a Cleveland hotel April 9th. He has not been arrested, nor have charges been filed against him. He came out Wednesday of this week with a very, very strong statement saying the allegations against him are completely false, and after the draft is over, he is saying he is willing to submit to a DNA sample and speak to police on Monday. That's something that's ahead of him, but right now he is the first-round draft pick of the Oakland Raiders. For more on this and what is really going on with Gareon Conley, let's go over to Adam Schefter. Adam.
Well, Trey, earlier this week, the Ravens administered a lie detector test to Gareon Conley. He passed that test for the Baltimore Ravens, but the Oakland Raiders were one of at least 24 teams to reach out and speak to Gareon Conley. And what he said to the Raiders clearly impressed them enough to where the Raiders are rolling the dice on a player that many teams were willing and wanted to take much earlier in the first round. He would have gone somewhere in the 10 to 15 range had the events of April 9th not unfolded the way they did. This was a player who made a bad decision that night, and the legal system still is trying to figure out exactly what happened, despite the fact that Gareon Conley is proclaiming his innocence. He goes to the Oakland Raiders, and now the Raiders have added Marshawn Lynch and Gareon Conley, Trey.
All right, Adam, thanks very much. First of all, let's get your reactions. John, I want to start with you. There's no doubt about the ability of the player. And he has been steadfast in the statement that he released that he has video evidence and witnesses that will say what this woman said happened didn't happen. But there's still a huge risk involved here in taking him in the first round.
No doubt. And all I can say is I know Mark Davis, the owner of the team. I know Reggie McKenzie. And I know that they have done extensive research and homework. And I think they trust this kid, and they believe 100% that he is innocent, or they wouldn't have done this in the first round. I hope that's the case.
Yeah, all my research and all the people I talked to pre-draft said there was nothing in his background beforehand, before this draft, that would have led them to believe that he was any kind of risk in any way, shape, or form. So this is something that totally caught people off guard. But I know Reggie McKenzie as well. I know Joey Scales, the director of player personnel out there. They wouldn't have made this pick if they weren't comfortable that everything was going to turn out the way it needed to, so they could take him.
We're not saying that he didn't commit this. We're just saying this is what people have told you about his character when you've asked about them. We just want to make sure we're clear on that. As for the player, Mel, what do you see on the tape?
Remember when the Eagles were picking, we said they needed a corner. I said Gareon Conley would have been in play here for the Philadelphia Eagles had there not been that issue. And they took Derek Barnett, the defensive end out of Tennessee. Gareon Conley was 18 on my big board. He's certainly a talented cornerback, 6 feet tall, 195 pounds, 4.44 speed, that 37 vertical, had a really good year in coverage for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Eli Apple moved on, 10th pick overall. Instead, Marshawn Lattimore. There's Conley really stepping up as well. 6 career interceptions. Cover skills are excellent. Gives up a little separation out of the break of the receiver, but the bottom line is he was a decent tackler, not great. But I think Gareon Conley, on ability, is certainly, in my opinion, Marshawn Lattimore, the top corner. Marlon Humphrey was my second highest rated corner. On ability, Gareon Conley was third highest rated corner, 18th overall in the big league.
By the way, with the drafting of Conley, Ohio State joins the 2002 Miami Hurricanes as the only schools in the common draft era to have 3 members of their defensive backfield taken in the first round of the draft. Gareon Conley, now a member of the Oakland Raiders.